So now that everything is set up to start modeling, first we need to think about what we are going to model. What is the shape? What is the body of what we're going to model? Shift A, cube. We start with a cube if you want to make something that looks like a cube. For example, if I model a TV, I'm going to start with a cube. I'm not going to start with, for example, a torus to make a TV. If we want to make, for example, an apple, we are not going to start with this. For an apple, we are going to put for example, a UV sphere. It's pretty good to make an apple because it looks like an apple. If we want to make a cup, we are not gonna start with a plane. We can start with a plane, but it's gonna be more difficult. We are going to start with a cylinder if we want to make a cup. And also we can start with curves. Here, curves. If you want to make, for example, cables, strings, you are going to start with a basic curve and then edit. Then here you can change the shape of the curve. So you need to think about what you want to model first to get the mesh, a good mesh. A torus, if I want to make, for example, a donut, I'm going to put a torus. So you think about what the shape is going to be, and then you have to get reference pics for the dimension, the details of what you are going to do. You can also just model from an idea, but it is better to use pics if you are modeling something that is real. For example, here I have a lot of pics. I made a gumball machine, so I search on Google Image for a picture, and then I can put it in Blender to look at it and then use it to make the shapes, the dimensions, because if I do this part too big, it's not gonna look good. If I do this part too small, it's not gonna look good. So you need like one or two reference pics of what you are modeling. If you want to be very precise, you will need to get a blueprint of what you are modeling. So a blueprint, it is a plan, for example, like this. It is exactly the profile, the shape of the top, the back, the sides, and all of the dimensions on it. So you can put it in Blender, and then you can exactly copy the same shape, the same dimension to be very, very precise. If you are doing something like this, you can get the blueprint of what you are modeling. You can go on the website dimensions.com. Here, I'm on this website, and then you have all the blueprints for objects, for example, house cricket, of a lot of things, and you can use it in Blender to have the exact dimension. So reference database for drawing, for the size, everyday objects, spaces, and everything. And this website is very useful when you are doing precise work. For example, I downloaded, it is not this, it is this one. This one, I did a screenshot to have this Nintendo DS. If you want to get this IKEA drawer, I just do a screenshot of this and then I put it in Blender. So now that you have the peak, the reference peak, you need to add it in Blender. So how to do this? There is two choices that you can do. So Shift A, here you have the image and you can put reference here, and then you open your reference peak. For example, if I want to put the Nintendo that I got, and here you have the peaks here. Then you can go on object properties, and then the rotation, I'm gonna put everything at 0. So it is really flat like this. And then numpad 7 to go on top view. And also I can go in the object data properties to change the opacity so it is little transparent here, so I can see my mesh. And then I'm going to add a cube and put it exactly the same size like this. So you can do this if you just want to put a picture. For example, when I did my Gumball machine, you just want to put a picture to see, and you don't want to open the file and then open Blender again. You want to have it in the same screen here. You can change, for example, this one, add a new window. If you want to change, if you want to have this, you can create a new one or just change it here. So you can create this, you go in the little plus, you go like this, you change this, and you can go in image editor here, and then you can put an image here, open. I'm gonna put my Gumball machine here, and then you can zoom like this, and you have all of the others. Like you have your collection of all your meshes, the properties here, and then you can see what you are doing. And also you can put image background. For example, I'm gonna put this. You can also put like this if you want. I don't like this because when you move it's gonna be like this, but when you put a background it is really in the back. If I put a cube, the cube is gonna be at front and the back always in the back. If I move my cube, the cube is here, but if I see like this, you see the background is always in the back. So you can do like this too, but the image like this is really good, and especially if you have a big screen, you can really put a lot of windows, and it's gonna be really good when you are modeling. So now that we know what mesh to put, we have our image. You need to think about, is the object I'm doing, it is a soft object, organic object, or it is hard surface object like metal, like this one. This one is hard surface. So if you are doing organic object, for example, you are doing food that is soft, that is smooth, you are going to use the subdivision surface modifiers. We are going to model soft organic object, and I'm going to show you how to use it. So if you are doing, for example, food, and it is really soft, you are just going to make the basic shape of the object. For example, you can, for example, I'm gonna do this, extrude like this, do this, get this face, do this, do E, do R. For example, my shape is this, and it is not smooth, but when I add the subdivision, I go in the modifiers, I add a modifier, subdivision surface, it's gonna look like this. And Now you can work on the shape of your object. And with our surface, it is the opposite. You are going to make the shape with just working like this, doing bevels. For example, if I select this and I do Ctrl B to smooth my mesh like this, and I'm going to model exactly the shape of, for example, if I do this, my object, the little holes here, the shape, exactly the shape. Whereas if I am doing soft organic, I'm just gonna put the subdivision, doing the basic shape, and then put the subdivision, and then after we can move everything to make the shape. So I think it's good. Now we can start modeling, now that we know everything we need to know. I am going to close this join area like this. So now we are going to model, so let's go.